What are the uses? What are the uses? Low expulsion rate. Okay, low expulsion rate means once it is inserted and in place, it is not easily expelled spontaneously. Lower incidence of side effects like pain and bleeding. Even though there is pain and bleeding in all intrauterine devices, side effects, but the incidence of that is lower with this. It is easier to fit even in nulliparous women and better tolerated by nulliparous women, that is who did not have any children before. They can also tolerate this contraceptive without any huge side effects. There is increased contraceptive effectiveness and it is effective as post-coital contraceptives if inserted within 3 to 5 days of unprotected intercourse. You can also use this as a emergency contraceptive as well. You have to just insert it within 5 days of unprotected intercourse. So that's when this also acts as an emergency contraceptive. So how long do this last? Okay, the copper T 200 is for 4 years, copper T 375 5 years, copper T 380A it is up till 10 years, the effectiveness lasts till 10 years, and Nova T again it is of 5 years. So the most long lasting intrauterine device among the copper devices second generation is the copper T 380. Okay, so this is why that is used in the health program. Now how does it act? First generation there was no medication, it only acted like a physical barrier. Okay. Second generation there is copper. So what does copper do in this case? It causes foreign body reaction because copper is foreign to the body. Once it is introduced inside the body, it causes a foreign body reaction, impairs the viability of the gametes or the zygote that is formed, okay, thereafter, and reduces the chances of fertilization from the gametes, and even if fertilization occurs, it lowers the chance of implantation in the uterus, in the endometrial lining, because it also changes the composition of the endometrial lining as well. Okay. So it causes foreign body reaction, it impairs viability of the gametes, it reduces the chance of fertilization and it reduces the chance of implantation by changing the milieu of the endometrial lining. That is one thing, foreign body reaction. Okay. What is the next thing? The copper itself, what it does, it changes the cervical mucus composition, it alters it. Okay. It changes the cellular enzymes, enhances the cellular response, alters cervical mucus, and it then in return what happens, that is it stops the movement and motility and the effectiveness of sperms. Okay. It affects sperm motility, capacitation and survival. So that is the second mechanism of action. In case of hormonal contraceptive, what happens is it increases the viscosity of the cervical mucus, then maintains high levels of progesterone and low levels of estrogen in uterus and hampered implantation. That is the mechanism of action in case of hormonal IUD. Okay. It alters the cervical mucus and then increases the progesterone level so that implantation does not occur. Okay. This is the main thing. Now the steps of loading the copper T or inserting the copper T. Step 1 and step 2 just consisted of like opening the packet, etc. Now in the packet what is there? There are the horizontal arms of the copper T, the vertical arms, so this and with the threads. So this itself is just the copper T. But other than that there are devices like this, long devices like this. So what are these? This is the insertion tube. Okay, the tube like thing with the copper T is within, that is the insertion tube, and this blue thing that you can see is a flange. Okay, and there is another solid rod like thing in the packet, right. So these are what is there in the packet. How do you insert it? Firstly then load the copper T IOD, you have to load it within this device. What is written? That is loading the IOD by folding its arms and placing them inside the insertion tube. That is those arms that you see, the horizontal arms, it is foldable, it is not rigid. You can fold it if you bend it. Fold and then insert the whole copper T inside that insertion tube. Fold it and insert it whole. And then do not load more than 5 minutes before inserting in the IOD into the uterus. So just before inserting it into the uterus, do 5 minutes before that. Just 5 minutes before you open the packet, you take the whole copper T, fold the horizontal arms and insert the whole copper T inside this insertion tube. Okay, inside this insertion tube. If the IUD arms remain folded for more than 5 minutes, what happened? They may not return to their original shape when released. Just like anything, like any plastic, if you bend it for too long, it becomes bended. So just make sure that it is folded for not more than 5 minutes before insertion, because once you are inserting this tube inside, you have to then take the tube out and make the copper T place inside the uterus with the arms horizontal again. So if you want to make the arms horizontal again and in their original shape, you have to keep it for as much of less time as possible so that it does not bend. Then step 4 is gently grasp the tenaculum and apply the gentle traction. You are then opening the wide mouth opening for the uterus for insertion. Insert the loaded IUD without touching the vaginal walls or speculum blades. Once you are visualizing it, you are opening the mouth and then insert the loaded IUD without touching the vaginal walls and speculum blades. Now you insert the insertion tube. Now what you do, you gently advance the loaded IUD into the uterine cavity. You are advancing it, this insertion tube you are advancing inside the uterus, and stop when the blue depth gauge comes in contact with the cervix or light resistance is felt. When this light resistance is felt or something is stopping at the level of this blue flange, then you stop inserting it any further. Hold the tenaculum and the white plunger rod stationary while partially withdrawing the insertion tube. Now once you are inserting it, okay, what you are doing, you are holding this rod inside and you are holding it in place, you are holding the opening in place, you are just taking the tube out, the plastic tube out, so that the copper T is being inserted, copper T is released. Something is holding it, the copper T in place, you just are taking out the packaging around it, the insertion tube. So what happens is then suddenly the arms open up. You understand? This arm open up. This arm was there inside this insertion tube. Once you are taking the insertion tube out, the arms are opening up, but it is also not coming down with the insertion tube. Why? Because you are holding it in place with this insertion rod. You are holding it in place. Okay. So only the tube comes out, not the IUD. Gently push the insertion tube. Now gently push the insertion tube until you feel a slight resistance. This step ensures placement high in the uterus. You are pushing it higher so that you can see that the uterus, the copper T is placed high inside the uterus and not lower, otherwise expulsion will occur. Remove the plunger rod after that. Then after it is inserted properly, you are seeing that it is inserted properly, you then take out the insertion rod, remove the white plunger rod while holding the insertion tube stationary, and then partially withdraw the inserter, gently and slowly withdraw the inserter from the tube from the cervical canal until the strings can be seen. The strings, there are copper T, beneath that there are strings, right, attached to the copper T are long strings. So until the strings are visible, you keep pulling it. Finally, when everything is out, only the copper T is inside, use sharp nail scissors to cut the IUD strings at 3 to 4 cm below the cervical opening. Now just below the cervical opening, you just keep some length of 3 to 4 cm and cut the rest of the string. Okay. If scissors are dull, IUD strings may get caught in the blades. And then finally completely withdraw the insertion tube with cut ends of the strings inside. So some strings should be outside the cervix, okay, so that it can be felt later. It can be checked later by the woman to see that whether the IUD is in the place or not. Okay. By this you complete the IUD insertion procedure. It is a very easy procedure. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes it requires in any health center wherever you go. In the clinic, the contraceptive clinic and IUD, the doctors are inserting it on a regular basis, especially in the where there is specialization, there is obs-gynae doctor, they do it on a regular basis in the health center. That was the copper T device and how is it inserted. Okay. Then there is the third generation, that is Progestasert. 38 milligram of progesterone is there in the Progestasert and it is releasing 65 microgram per day. 65 microgram of progesterone per day it is releasing and removed every 1 year. And the levonorgestrel 20 or called Mirena brand name, okay, it releases 20 microgram levonorgestrel every day and it is there for 10 years. So that is why in the private setters the Mirena is a better alternative to the copper T 380A because it is also there for the long term, but it is more efficacious or more effective. Why? Because it is hormonal. So it is controlling the hormonal levels inside the uterus as well, and it is always preventing the implantation even if fertilization occurs. So Mirena is another alternative for the copper T 380A. That is a third generation. Okay. Now when to insert? When to insert this copper Ts? What is preferred? Anytime during menstruation or within 10 days of beginning of a menstrual period when the diameter of the cervical canal is the largest. Okay, when you are seeing that the diameter of the cervical canal is the largest, that is during menstruation or within 10 days of menstruation, then it is easier to insert during the best time to insert the IUDs or the copper T. If there is delivery, if the person has delivered, then what? Within 48 hours of delivery, either within 48 hours of delivery, that is postpartum, immediate postpartum insertion, or if you miss the 48-hour window, you then insert it 6 to 8 weeks after the delivery, that is post puerperal insertion. Okay, because this period of 6 weeks, that is 42 days from after 48 hours after delivery, then after till 6 weeks, that is the puerperal period. Okay, puerperal period or the postpartum period. That is when if you insert something, no, there is a high chance of infection. The uterus and the lining becomes remains most vulnerable to outside interaction and infection. Okay, involution of the uterus can occur, etc. So whatever is there, you have to wait till 6 to 8 weeks after the delivery so that the infection does not occur and you can again safely insert the copper T. So this is the post puerperal insertion of copper T. If there is a medical termination of pregnancy or abortion within the first 20-24 weeks, okay, at the time of the MTP itself, either at the time of the MTP itself or if there is a second trimester abortion, you have to wait just after the first menstrual period of the abortion. Okay, so that at that time there is maximum visibility because the diameter of the cervix is greater and you can insert it easily. And then in lactational amenorrhea, if the mother is breastfeeding, if the mother wants then any time provided pregnancy at the current time is ruled out. In some cases you will see that the mothers can become pregnant again while breastfeeding to the first baby. Okay, within 1 year the mother is again pregnant. So you have to first rule out whether the mother is pregnant or not. If the mother is not pregnant, during breastfeeding she can be given this copper T anytime. And as stated before, there is the emergency contraceptive use as well. You have to insert it within 5 days of the unprotected intercourse. Okay, it is easier to administer, it's not much to remember like that. You can insert it basically anytime, but the most preferred time is around menstruation or a certain time after delivery. Okay. Now, in whom to insert, whom to give this IUD? There is something called the ideal IUD candidate. Obviously, this is not there in reality, it is not followed, but you try to keep close and try to give this IUD to women who fill most of the criteria. That is, who has born at least one child, okay, who has no history of pelvic diseases, has normal menstrual period, okay, there is no abnormal bleeding, is willing to check the IUD tail. They have to check the IUD tail regularly to for adherence that the thing is there. If the person suddenly feels that okay, I am not able to feel that strings, that means it has either been expulsed, okay, or some perforation has occurred, etc. So the woman can then report to the health center accordingly. If the woman is willing to check the IUD tail regularly, she has access to the follow-up and treatment of potential problems, and is in a monogamous relationship. It is also as well because multiple sexual partners can lead to the chances of infection, STDs, okay, then that is not helped by the copper T. Copper T is basically a contraindication in cases of PID, pelvic inflammatory disease, STDs, etc. So, in case the woman is a low risk in those cases, so in that woman you can give the IOD, okay, so that the infection is controlled. So, these are the criteria for the ideal IOD candidate, but obviously in most of the cases not everyone will fulfill all these criteria, but we try to keep as much criteria as possible for the woman who will be able to receive this IOD. So, the Planned Parenthood Federation of America does not, however, rule out the women who do not conform to this profile. It is not always you have to stick to all this criteria, but most of the criteria should be there so that this copper T can work well. Now, what are the advantages of this copper T? Okay, what are the advantages of this copper T or any intrauterine device, the third generation as well? It is simple to insert and take only a few minutes. As I said, 5 to 10 minutes it takes for IOD insertion, and it is simple to insert. And it can be like not high skill is required. If you train a little bit, even the nurses can administer this. Okay, it is easier to administer. And once inserted, IOD stays in place as long as required. So, there is long term effectiveness if it is inserted properly. Inexpensive and cost effective. It is very cheap in health centers, public health centers it is free, okay, and it is cost effective. Why? Because you are inserting it only once in 10 years, okay. So, it is very cost effective as well. Contraceptive effect is reversible by removal of IOD. If somehow there is requirement of removing the IOD, for example, any it is now being lodged in a different position, or the mother wants to be pregnant again, or the woman wants to be pregnant again, okay, or there is any discrepancy or contraindication suddenly cropping up. So, in that case, you can also remove it as easily. No systemic metabolic side effects associated with the hormonal pills that is seen here. Highest continuation rate. It is most likely that the women are adhering most to this copper T, and there is no need for the continual motivation required to take the pill daily. There is no constant motivation, okay, taking the pill daily as in the hormonal contraceptive pill, but in here you do not need any daily motivation, and only a single act of motivation is required and can be used as an emergency contraceptive again. Okay, so these are the advantages of this copper T. What are the contraindications? Now, in which women you do not give this copper T? Absolute contraindications, and then there is relative contraindication. What are the absolute contraindications? Pregnancy. Okay, in any contraceptive, the absolute contraindication number 1 is pregnancy. Number 2, most important, is pelvic inflammatory disease or PID. Okay, in any case of infection. If there is undiagnosed vaginal bleeding, if there is any undiagnosed bleeding, then if there is cancer of the cervix, uterus or any adnexal structures, okay, if there is any cancer or tumor and history of any ectopic pregnancy, in those cases you do not give copper T because copper T can aggravate these symptoms, okay. And what are the relative contraindications? In case of anemia, in case of menorrhagia, in case of history of PID in the last pregnancy, purulent cervical discharge, congenital deformity, unmotivated person, abnormally shaped uterus. So, if in relative means if these conditions are controlled, then you can give IOD. If these conditions are not controlled, you cannot give IOD, okay. It is better not to give IOD, but these are not absolutely contraindicated. You can give in these cases provided they are controlled or treated. What are the adverse effects of this copper T? Number 1 is pain. Number 1 most common side effect here for the copper T is pain, bleeding and pain. So, bleeding is the commonest. Bleeding or spotting in between the period resolves within 1 to 2 months usually, and pain second most common, bleeding and after insertion or during menstruation. Low back pain, cramps radiating to thigh usually disappear in 3rd month. Okay. So, bleeding and pain are the most common side effects. Third is a pelvic inflammatory disease. Now, what do I mean by pelvic inflammatory disease? That is currently if the woman is suffering from the pelvic inflammatory disease. It is caused by organisms ascending the IUD tail from the lower genital tract to the uterus and tubes. If there is ascending infection in those cases. The organisms include Gardnerella, anaerobic streptococci, Bacteroides, okay, coliforms and actinomyces. That is the things that the pathogens that are affecting the woman vaginal tract, then sometimes it affects the urinary tract. Okay, those pathogens are most common that can ascend to the tract, or in this case ascend to the tails of the IUD. That is Gardnerella, anaerobic streptococci, Bacteroides, coliform, okay, actinomyces. The risk of PID appears to be the highest in the first few months after IUD insertion. That is why it is not inserted during the puerperal period, that is the 6 weeks after delivery, okay, because at that time the risk is the commonest. The clinical manifestations of PID are, how does PID manifest? It can manifest in form of vaginal discharge, pelvic pain, tenderness, abnormal bleeding, chills and fever. So, all these symptoms can occur signifying that the woman is suffering from PID. In many cases, the infection may be asymptomatic or low grade as well. There may be milder forms of infection, but still it is a contraindication or a side effect that can occur from the IUD. Even 1 or 2 episodes of PID can cause infertility, permanently blocking the fallopian tubes. So, it can scar the uterine lining, it can scar the fallopian tube lining if PID occurs subsequently. Therefore, young women should be fully counseled on the risks of PID before choosing an IUD. If there is a slightest hint that a PID has occurred after insertion of IUD, the IUD should be removed immediately. There should be no delay. Okay, the source of infection should be removed immediately. Other side effects are ectopic pregnancy can occur from this copper T, then displacement and expulsion of the IUD, uterine perforation can occur, and pregnancy, 50% of pregnancy end up in abortion with IUD in situ. If there is side effect of pregnancy, that is if it is not inserted well or if it is not working well, then pregnancy can occur. So, there is a 50% pregnancy among that they are ending up in abortion because there is IUD inside, but the IUD is not placed properly, that is why the woman has gotten pregnant. Okay. Now, how to manage the side effects in case of pregnancy? If the woman requests an induced abortion, this is legally available, removal of the IUD. If the woman wishes to continue with the pregnancy and the threads are visible, the device should be removed by gently pulling the threads. And if the woman wishes to continue with the pregnancy and threads are not visible, okay, threads are not visible, then there should be careful examination for the complications. You can do a radiography as well to see where the copper T is. If there are any signs of uterine infection and sepsis, evacuation of uterus under broad spectrum antibiotic cover is mandatory. That is, you cannot find the IUD, okay, and the person wants to get continue pregnancy with the IUD there, but you cannot find the IUD, okay, and there is a high, again some symptoms have appeared for like PID, that is the infection and sepsis has occurred, then you should counsel the mother that you have to do the evacuation of the uterus so that you cannot keep the baby, because now it has been infected, okay, it will harm your life as well as the baby's. So, it is better to do a evacuation of the uterus under broad spectrum antibiotic cover, okay. If you cannot find the source, you have to control the infection, and if there is widespread infection like the complications, sepsis is occurring, then only you are telling the mother now you have to evacuate the uterus and terminate the pregnancy. Intrauterine contraceptive. Now, this packet is open. This is another copper T device called Multilode 375, okay. This is a Multilode 375. As you can see, this is a copper T device, Multilode device. Here the Multilode device only has copper in the stem and not the arms. The arms are placed like this, it is for better grip, okay. But 375, why? Because the surface area of the copper T coverage is lesser than the copper T 380A, and you can see there are two tails, Okay, it is long, but if after insertion you then cut it according to the length and you then place it. So it is like this. What you have to do before any copper T insertion, you have to place the whole thing within this insertion tube. Okay, this plastic tube is called the insertion tube. You have to place the whole thing inside it, including the arms, by folding like this. Okay, you have to fold the arms like this and insert it from the tail onwards fully inside, and then once inside you release the tube and it gets inserted in the uterus. Understood? Okay. Any questions till now? This was just about the IODs. Today is only about the IODs. রিলিজ করবে কিভাবে? এটা একটা ইনসারশন, এটা নেই স্পেসিমেনে নেই, বাট এটা ইনসারশন রড আছে। ইনসারশন রড দিয়ে ইউ হোল্ড ইট ইন প্লেস, ওকে, এন্ড ইউ পুল আউট দিস টিউব, দেন দিস গেটস হেল্ড ইন প্লেস এন্ড ইউ আর ইনসার্টিং। সেটা যেভাবে তোমাদের দেখানো হলো, ঠিক আছে, দ্য প্রসেস ইনসাইড, দ্যাট ইজ হাউ ইউ ইনসার্ট ইট।